Hello! I recently finished the Google Prompting Essentials course, and I really enjoyed it. If you're someone who wants to communicate with large language models more efficiently and gets more out of AI, you don't want to miss this course. If you're a beginner, no worries at all. It's non-technical and stress-free. If you're someone like me who has already been intensively working with large language models for a while, you will still find this course to be super helpful because systematic learning brings fresh inspiration here and there. So no matter what your level is, you will walk away with valuable takeaways. The course has 4 modules, and I'm making a series of videos to share my key learnings from it. In this video, we will focusing on Module 1. Start writing prompts like a pro. Now let's get started. Prompt engineering isn't technical, mysterious, or complicated. All you need is a 5-step framework that was introduced at the beginning of Module 1. This framework is really at the heart of the entire course. Task, context, references, evaluate, and iterate. The course has given us a pretty easy way to remember it, which is thoughtfully create really excellent inputs. This 5-step framework is a foundation, the secret recipe that everything else builds on. So let's break it down, starting with task. Task is about defining the goal. What are you expecting the AI to deliver? When you're delegating a task, making sure you include 2 elements, persona and format, to help you get better results. Persona was my biggest takeaway here. Before taking the course, whenever I used large language models like ChatGPT or Gemini, I always assumed it was just me asking the questions. For example, I might normally say, I'm an economist with 5-year experience. Help me prepare an economic briefing on blah, blah, blah. That's simply representing myself. But now I know that I can use imagination to elevate my role. I could frame it as, imagine I am an economist with 15 years of experience. By pretending to be someone else, the response immediately changes in tone, perspective, and even depth. This does not only help me to prepare my report, but also sharpens my thinking and elevates to a higher level. Persona is not only about who you are, it's also about who you are speaking to. In any kind of communication, your audience should always be your priority. Being clear about your audience can completely change the way you present the same idea. For example, explaining AI to primary school students versus explaining AI to college students, the contents will be hugely different. So always making sure you're bringing persona to a large language model. Format is simply how you want the output to look like. It could be in bullet points, short paragraphs, or a table, whichever you prefer. Context is all about details. Whatever information can help the large language model better understand your task. Feel free to include it. Be generous. The more relevant details you provide, the better your output will be. Then comes evaluate. Check whether the output actually meets your needs. If it doesn't, you move on to iterate. That could mean asking follow-up questions, rephrasing your prompt, or adding more details. I want to share an interesting reflection. I've often heard people saying that you should write a prompt as if you're delegating to a person. But the truth is, when we delegate, we're not always patient. We're not always the best bosses, right? On the other hand, we have all experienced the frustration that when someone else delegates something to us without enough information, without enough details, that kind of upset, frustration that we have really sticks with us. So here is my suggestion. Think about writing a prompt as if you're the one being delegated to by the ideal boss. Clear expectations, full background information, helpful examples. If I have all of that, I would be super happy. Substance matters more than the sequence. The way you structure a prompt is less important than the details you include. As long as you provide the necessary information, the sequence doesn't really matter. So don't stress too much about the order. Success is all about details. Context, references, persona, it all comes down to details, details, details. The more you give a large language model, the more you get out of it. So be generous. Always be iterating. Unlike Google search, interaction with large language models is a back and forth process. Asking follow-up questions, refine your prompt, and iterate again if you want high-quality output. So always be iterating. Don't treat your prompt as a one-time command. Treat your interaction with large language models as a dialogue, a conversation that goes on and on. Break it down into steps. When your task is long and complicated, don't try to include all you want in just one prompt. Break it down into smaller steps. For example, you're sending a PDF file to ChatGPT. You want it to help you extract key data, visualize those data, and also draw conclusions from those data. Don't try to put all of your needs in just one prompt. Instead, you can tell ChatGPT first step to do what, second step, third step. In this way, after each step, you can evaluate. And if something went wrong, you can quickly iterate before moving forward. Try analogous task. When one prompt or one task isn't delivering the results you want, try switching to an analogous task. For example, you asked a large language model to write a marketing plan for a product, but you didn't like the result. So instead, you could say, here is a product. Can you write a story that is vivid and resonate with everyday people? By reframing the task in a different way, you give the model a fresh angle to approach it, and that can often lead to better results. Try multimodal prompting. In Module 1, we also came across a word called modality. Modalities are the different formats that generative AI can work with, like text, images, audio, video, code, etc. Different AI tools are stronger in different modalities. Here is the interesting thing. You don't have to stick to just one modality. You can always combine different modalities to have better results. For example, combining image and text, or combining audio and text. That's what we call multimodal prompting, bringing different forms together in one single task. I want to share a personal story of how multimodal prompting can be so powerful for everyday people. My dad runs a small business. He has had this habit of writing down the company's spending and income by hand. I told him you can still keep that handwritten part, but you can involve AI and let AI read your handwritten notes. So I did a mini training for him. I showed him how AI can help him create a nice looking table and also draw key data insights. He loved it so much. If you haven't tried multimodal prompting, try it. That wraps up my key learnings from Module 1. Start writing prompts like a pro. I hope you found it helpful and got some fresh inspiration for your own prompting. But this is just the beginning. The course has 4 modules in total, and I will be sharing the rest of them in upcoming videos. So if you like this video, please subscribe and hit the like button and support. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.